What it do? What it do? I hope you guys can hear me. Hope you guys can hear me. What's up, FBA family? What's up? What it do? This is kind of like an impromptu live. Um, I am going live from Twitter as we speak. Just trying to get everything together. I wanted to play this. I wanted to play this real quick. All right, we are live. We are live. All right. Okay. Turn. All right. All right, what it do? What it do? What it do? What it do, family? I am in the building. Shout out to me. Yes, shout out to me. Shout out to me. We are live. We are on live right now. I'm on live on my YouTube channel, and I'm also live on my Twitter page. We're talking about divesting tonight. This is kind of like an impromptu space. Been having a lot of conversations about just divesting and what's going on within the divesting community. And it's pretty interesting. But I wanted to play a snippet. This young lady right here has been on Twitter. We've been dragging her ass ruthlessly. She's also been in a couple of not so tempting positions in the porn world. I mean, I guess the sister was getting paid. She's quote unquote not a sister. She's a tether cosplaying as a Black American. But hopefully you guys can hear this loud and clear. I do have my volume up. Men that are harassing and threatening me because they found out I have a half-life son. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna replay that again. I thought I had my speaker on, which I don't. Oh, my Bluetooth got to be on. What it do, Ty? What it do? What it do? What it do? What it do? Trying to get this far live. Hold on. All right, fixing my Bluetooth. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay, it's off. I don't know. Bluetooth ain't cutting on in. Hold on a second, guys. Guys, remember this lady from Twitter? She got dragged pretty infamously on this app. She is a divester.
This is for the Black men that are harassing and threatening me because they found out I have a half-white son. First of all, it's not that you're Black that I didn't date you. It's that most of you speak to women like you're standing on a prison yard, and I don't find that attractive. Secondly, no one complains when Black men date outside of their race and give their wealth to women outside of their race. But you have a problem when you see a Black woman that has dated outside of their race. Is it because you're trying to convince us that we were undesirable when the fact is you're the one that's undesirable and you only have a certain amount of options and we figured it out?
Y'all remember her? Y'all remember her on Twitter? You know how she got exposed for being in those porn videos and finding out this bitch is a fucking tether. Oh man. I'm gonna play one more. And I want to.
This is for the Black.
I'm gonna play something from my TikTok page. If you guys can tap this. Well, I'm not on whatchamacallit, but yeah. Support me. Share out the space. Let me pull this up real quick. What's up, Schools Mom? How you doing, Queen? Thank you for coming in. I'm gonna play another video real quick, and then we're gonna get into this conversation. There's a lot of divesting going on here, not only in this app, but within the Black American community, and I think we need to address it. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to see a lot of these content creators. Me and a good sister in the background been talking in the background. We just been noticing, man. There's a lot of these people being yelling and screaming, yelling, you know, Black American, freemen, FBA. We got to come together, and then they show up with a white woman to the FBA rally. It literally happened. I was there. But anywho, we're gonna speed up. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna load this video up real quick. If you guys could share the live out for me. I'm trying to share it out, but for some reason that's not gonna let me. But I'm gonna do it. I got it. But appreciate it. Hold on, just 1 second. I'm gonna pull up one more video. This clearly describes why a lot of Black American women do divest. I will say this: love is love, but you can't be preaching Black and laying up with white Zach. Hold tight. Get your hold tight, guys. Hold tight.
Before they are
New TikTok. And they're harassing and threatening. It's a broken code.
What you want to do is save hundreds when Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
That's great, but can you ask your friend to stop digging into the...
Divesting is still popular, online at least. The idea continues to live on and thrive, oftentimes taking on new forms, catchphrases, reinventing itself in popular social media trends. But there is one thing that keeps divestment alive and well, and that is hope. The hope that one day a struggling Black woman will be able to level up out of her downtrodden and difficult Black life and find herself in a better socioeconomic position next to a handsome, successful, and rich white man. The fantasy assumes that this rich white man will be able to provide her a Cinderella lifestyle, a big home in a gated community, house cleaner, maids, nanny, a daily routine complete with Pilates and green smoothies, and of course, vacations every month. What these ladies desire is a more comfortable life, or at least a baby with light skin and quote unquote good hair. But either way, they just think getting with someone who isn't black is the way out of their struggles, whether it be financial, social, romantic, or all of the above. And by divesting, the belief is that these black ladies will be able to escape the worst aspects of quote blackistan unquote, such as the dusty, down low, no good, lazy, and degenerate black man and his pygmy female counterpart. The idea is just too fantastical and magical to give up entirely. But I want to introduce you to another side of this level of fantasy. While some ladies seek white men as their ticket into hypergamous living, there are those black women out there who are born into privilege and may have grown up in the burbs, attended predominantly white areas, or lived in gated communities, attended predominantly white schools, and grew up in the lifestyle that many of these ladies aspire for. They were around handsome, well-to-do white men who came from successful families. They attended schools with them, went to class with them, and even lived next door to them. But what was their experience like? I saw this video of a beautiful black woman who also is a content creator, and she opened up about her experience as a black woman who grew up in an affluent, predominantly white area and also attended a white prep school. I want to hear what she has to say about her experience, and then we're going to break it down.
Someone needs to do an academic study on the outcomes and the experiences of young Black girls who go to predominantly white prep schools. I firmly believe if you are sending your young Black daughter to a really nice elite prep school, be prepared not only to pay back tuition now, but to also pay for very expensive therapy in a decade from now. I went to one of those like $50,000, $60,000 a year prep schools from 6th grade up until 12th grade. I played lacrosse, field hockey, crew on the Charles River. It was also a New England prep school. I think there's also a regional nuance here. It was psychological warfare. Spending your most formative years not being the standard of beauty, being ostracized, oftentimes being the only one in your class, having to learn about slavery in a very unsafe environment. It is, I don't think parents understand the psychological cost and warfare on young Black girls to go to these elite prep schools. Forget about having a boyfriend. Forget about going to prom. Forget about learning about race and consciousness in a healthy and safe way. Forget about if you're smart, if you're talented, if you're pretty, even if your parents have money. It is torture. You cannot fully know yourself and also be self-aware and develop a healthy sense of self in a space like that. I refuse.
Are we there?
You can't do it. And I'm saying this for young Black girls specifically because I think young Black boys, though the trauma might also still exist, I think they have very different experiences than Black girls who go to prep school.
I am not a person who is against aspiring for a better lifestyle, aspiring to live in nice communities and safe communities. I am not opposed to that per se. But we have to be honest about what this actually means. What does it actually mean if a Black woman is able to quote unquote level up, right? What if she's able to use the sprinkle mentality that we see from Shira 7? Or take some of the advice that we see from content creator Chrissy, who is all about Black woman, leveling up into the white society. Like, what happens when a woman is actually able to do that or born into that? And there's a whole other side of things that is oftentimes not being talked about. In the United States of America, some of the best, safest communities today are predominantly white. And we know there's reasons for this. If we understand the history of redlining, if we understand the socioeconomic gap, just different challenges that have pretty much kept Black and brown communities in a cycle of poverty. Like, we know it's not necessarily by chance, but nevertheless, what that does mean is oftentimes if a Black person and or Black families are able to put themselves in better positions, whether it be for their family or just a person who gets enough money personally, they are oftentimes going to now start to find themselves in situations where they themselves are othered. It has to be the responsibility of the parents to instill strong cultural values, to instill strong spiritual values, and to also continuously put them in situations where they are being reinforced who they are. They are seeing representations of themselves regularly that are healthy. They have kids that look like them, that that have their own culture. Like that is so important, because if that doesn't happen, then they are going to grow up having the identity crisis like she did, constantly trying to fit into a cultural mold that just isn't her. She was never meant to be white. Continue to put those children around their culture, whatever that means. You're getting involved in church, you're getting involved in sports, you are actively doing things that is ensuring that that kid is regularly having healthy interactions with their own culture, so they don't have an identity crisis and they don't feel like they have to fit in with somebody else. I also want to say real quick what she mentioned about Black men. I don't think that it's necessarily that Black men are treated easier. I just think Black men know very early on that they are other, that they don't fit in, that they are a threat. And so Black men, when they are boys, come to the realization that they are not accepted in society. And so they don't really have the illusion of inclusion that Black women have. Like I think by nature of Black women not being considered as much as a threat, women are not considered as much as a threat. They don't experience some of the things Black men do early on. Black little boys, they're going in the stores and they're getting followed. People are clutching their purses. They're walking past cars and people are locking the doors. Like these are the experience of Black men when they are boys. When they are boys, they're getting stopped by the police. When they are boys, so they get this message early on that they're a threat. Black women don't get that. And so I think it can kind of take Black women a little longer to recognize that although they may not be perceived as an immediate threat, they are still seen as othered. And so that is where I think that might be why a Black girl and a Black boy, they might have slightly different experiences, or rather they might have different perspectives on how to handle situations when they are the only Black person in an environment. So anyways, that's what I have. That's what I really like.
All right. Appreciate y'all coming through. Shout out to your schools, Mom. Appreciate you so much for retweeting out the live. This is a very interesting conversation that my sister naturally, the lovely sister naturally Tura has been trying to wake up on the other side of the app. I've been on TikTok lately, you guys, and I've been seeing a lot lately with a lot of this divesting going on, and it's really unbelievable. I just don't understand. I have divesting going on in my family, so I'm not gonna sit up here and say, "Oh, I ain't got no divesting going on in my family." I have several experiences dealing with quote unquote family members that are half. I'll say that. My issue mainly is that a lot of this pick me with a lot of this Black American women, my main issue is when I see people spreading this type of rhetoric like Black American this, foundational Black American that, Freeman this, Freeman that, and then end up finding out you've been laying with a YT man or Armenian. You got 4 or 5 kids with an Armenian. Now, shout out to you, Black American queen, if you was getting to the bag, but why you couldn't have a baby with all these kids with a Black American man? I mean, what's the difference? Were you trying to find some type of cultural status? Were you trying to have that nice house? You wanted a Mexican maid or something? I mean, enlighten me. What's up, brother Dion? How you doing, brother? Anybody can come up. Right now we're just free talking right now. Hopefully more people will gather in the space. I know the space is a little earlier. I also want to hear from my Black American queens how they feel about it. I am going to be retweeting the space out. Go ahead, Dion. What's up with you, brother?
Hey, what's up, brother? How are you, man? Yeah, man, this is a good topic, brother. One thing that I've noticed, right, is that American society is attempting to make it completely normal for a Black woman to date outside of the race and marry outside of the race. They're trying to get them to accept that as something that's normal and it should not be put down, right? If you call her a bed wench or any type of thing like that, you would be looked at as an abuser. Like they will put a jacket on you as if you're abusing her if you call her a bed wench. But if you notice that they have a certain name for women, Black women, who are loyal to Black men, they call them pick-me's. Now, you can call a Black woman a pick-me, right? But if you call her a bad wench, oh man, you hate black women.
Right.
You hate black women now.
Right, here comes the Kevin Samuels rhetoric. The hate.
You can't call her right. You can't call her a bad wench. All of a sudden, you hate black women. But you could call a woman, a black woman, a pick me, right? That's cool. That's accepted by everybody, right?
Right.
You call a black woman a pick me because she's loyal to black men. That and it just to show you the propaganda that's being spit out against black women who are loyal to black men. And it also shows you, right, that black men, we have an issue because if society is trying to make it normal for black women to not see black men as a viable option, that is going to be dangerous in the future, right? And we're already seeing the results of it because, truth be told, women are more likely to acquiesce to society. They will assimilate very quickly, even quicker than men, right? And that does not have anything. It doesn't have anything to do with race. Women in general assimilate better in society. So if society is trying to create a culture where black women can dash out and date and procreate with other men, that's going to be a problem because society is going to choose which men are going to win, right? We don't really have the control of the economy. If you don't have your thumb on the economy, you can't decide who the winners and losers are going to be in that economy, right?
Right.
And black men were chosen to be the losers of this economy simply because we don't control it, right? The flow of currency is out of our control. We can either assimilate or go to jail, right? Black men have to make a decision on whether or not they're going to assimilate to society or go to prison or die. Okay, so assimilating to society basically means to submit to the propaganda and the agenda of society. You cannot be successful as a black man in America if you're not willing to assimilate. So if that type of pressure is put upon the men, you can just imagine the pressure that's going to be put on the females and why they are really targeted in this way to leave black men in order to assimilate. And I'm gonna land right there.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting. I actually agree with 98% of what you're talking about. I see that a lot within my Black American community here, down here in Nashville, Tennessee. I call them, we have the bougie class of Black Americans, and then we have, Negroes like me. We just trying to make it, pay our mortgage, live a decent life, right? I just feel like it's a catch-22, a double standard when you are dealing with a black man and say a brother has a couple of kids with Sally Sue down the street, right? I've seen a lot of sisters just maul the black man and shit on the Black American man because he, quote unquote, I guess we'll say he made a mistake and he had kids with a YT woman, a white woman. Sorry, I've been on TikTok so long. I said YT. I keep forgetting I can say what I want to say on Twitter. A white woman. So why is it? And this is a question to you, Dion. I see a couple of ladies up in here. If y'all want to get in the conversation, you can. Please share the space out. I feel like this is real interesting. We need to talk about this because I have an issue with that. I don't like the fact that when a black man has kids with a white woman, he fucked up. But when a sister has kids with a YT man, or they done been in a whole fucking relationship, goddamn it, with a motherfucker, but it ain't no issue. Oh, we just gonna look past it because she's standing on Black American business. Well, what about what the fuck she was doing before that? You know what I'm saying? Like I just be feeling that accountability.
Right.
We're not holding that shit accountable, bro. It goes both ways.
It proves that we live in a white patriarchal society because the white men who are pretty much in control of of the societal norms, they are making that decision, right? Because they want to have more. They want to have more sexual access to black women, right?
Right.
So, and white men have always had sexual access to black women, but now they want to normalize it.
Right.
Because at first it wasn't normal.
It was
right?
forced.
But now they're tired of having to dip and dive and
hide.
They're tired.
Hider.
They're tired of putting a black. They're tired of putting a plastic bag over her head. When you go to the movie theaters and stuff like that.
Right.
They want to be in the open with it, right?
Right.
And they want her to accept her position as his concubine.
Right.
Because that's what he's really trying to make her. Because the white woman is going to always have the priority in a white man's life, but he still want to dip and dive.
He
right?
want to have. He has that affinity to that Black American woman always.
Yes.
Always.
Yes, he want to have sex with other women, right? And he want to have access to that, and he don't want the black women, giving him too much resistance because of maybe it's a taboo in black society, right? So he want to take away the taboo so that he could just go in there and just pick her out and just sexually exploit her anytime he feel like it.
Quote unquote a pygmy, correct?
A white man's pygmy.
A white man's pygmy. Okay, cool. All right, let's go to a sister real quick. I'm gonna go to Miss Scoob first, and I'm gonna go to you, Lovely. Good evening, Miss Scoob. How you doing, Queen?
Hey, I'm doing good. It's Scooby's mom. My son's nickname is Scooby, so I just put Scooby's mom.
Okay, my bad. I apologize. Scooby's mom.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I know you're talking about me though. But I wasn't gonna come up yet because I'm still working. I got like 10 minutes left, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk while I'm on here. As far as that divesting thing, yeah, I'm not with it. I'm not for it. I can't judge whoever is gonna do what they're gonna do, but I will say I don't see how anybody could call themselves pro-black. I don't even call myself pro-black. I don't go around announcing anything like that because I don't know where I might fall short. I just say my actions speak louder than words. What you see is what you get. My moves, anything I say is going to show you how I feel. I don't have to go around telling people, announcing to people, oh, I put black people first, because you're going to see what I do. The way I talk, the way I deal with people, even like when I'm at work, my job, anybody I deal with, you're going to see already. I don't need to say it because you're already going to know by my actions. I did used to have the mentality that I'll date whoever treats me right. But I also noticed how some black women do act towards other black women or anybody when they have divested, they tend to walk with their nose in the air. And it's crazy. I used to work
that kind of coon type of mentality, right? So you noticed it. Okay, go ahead.
I have an auntie that used to be married to a white man. She used to kind of be a little bougie acting, back in the 70s. He bought her a big old house in Seal Beach, and she had driving around in her, her green Cadillac Seville. But once, I guess she realized what he was doing to her kids. She set that bitch on fire, burnt that house down. She done lost her mind. She had a mental breakdown, went crazy.
Wow.
Even when I used to work at this gym.
Wow.
I usually work 2 jobs anyway, but one time I had a second job working at the gym, and I worked in the little kids care section, and there was this lady. She would bring her kids, and she always just kind of had this little snooty look on her face. She was cordial to me. But her husband was a white man. He was always nice. He was cool. But she, and it's so funny. That's the other thing. I've known white dudes that love to date black women. And their girlfriends hate on me so bad. And I'm like, I don't want your man. Trust me. I don't want. I remember one dude, and I don't know if he kind of had a crush on me. I think maybe he did. But we ran into him at a bar one time, and I went by. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" Because we worked together, And he was like introducing his wife to me. Oh, this is my wife. And I was like, hi, how you doing? I'm like, being nice to her, happy. I ain't tripping. I don't want him. And she gave me the stankiest look straight in my face. I was like, oh, like that? Okay. So yeah, there's a different mentality when it comes to these people. And like they were saying, I think they think that if they get a white man, they're doing better, like they've made it. You know, and black men, that's the same way with them sometimes.
Same mentality. We have that same type of mentality. I will agree.
Yeah, it's like I got.
They look at a white woman as a come up. They look at as a white woman as a come up, an idiot. I've seen these dumbass brides pay Negroes light bills, utility bills, rent. But hey, if you're stupid enough to do it, do it. But you know what I'm saying?
And the white girls like to throw that up in our faces too. They don't really like us. They'll hang with us, but they just really come.
Oh yeah. When I was in
black guys want them, and I've had guys. I used to have black dudes tell me, the ones that only dated white girls, oh, I only date white girls, but I'll make an exception for you. And I was like, that's not a compliment to me. I would never date somebody like you. I would never date you because that's what you would choose. I wouldn't want to compete with that, first of all. Number two, I got to worry about you looking at other females. And number three, I don't want somebody, you don't like your own race. So why am I an exception? I ain't hell no. But like I said before, I did used to feel like, you know what, date anybody. I don't care what your color is, what your race is, if you treat me right. However, I couldn't see myself ever dating an Asian or an Indian. I had some